Good morning. Welcome to 7th grade math. We will go over the homework today from last night. If you have any questions, please post on the message board and make sure you're comfortable with everything. We've done the homework, the study guide and review both days, and then this for your test tomorrow. Lawn care. For exercises 1 and 2, use the following information to write each ratio as a fraction in simplest form. Bag of fertilizer nutrients contains 18 pounds of nitrogen, 6 pounds of phosphorus, and 12 pounds of potassium. Number 1, nitrogen to potassium. That is 18 to 12. We'll set that up as a fraction, and we will simplify it, dividing by the greatest common factor of 6, so you get 3 over 2. Number 2, phosphorus to nitrogen. You get 6 to 18. As a fraction, it's 6 over 18. And we will simplify that using the GCF of 6, and you get 1/3. Find each unit rate, round to the nearest hundredths if necessary. 24 greeting cards for $4.80. So we're trying to find out how much each greeting card costs. So that needs to be in the denominator, because for unit rate, we need to find what the denominator of 1. So we have $4.80 over 24 greeting cards, and we're going to find out what 1 greeting card costs by dividing $4.80 by 24, and you can use a calculator to do that. So you end up with 20 cents over 1 greeting card, which is 20 cents per card. Number 4, 330 miles on 15 gallons of gas, and we want to find out how many miles on 1 gallon of gas. So we're going to set it up as 330 miles over 15 gallons of gas. If we use the GCF of 15, we will end up with 22 miles over 1 gallon, which equals 22 miles per gallon. Number 5, multiple choice. The population of bacteria in 4 different size lab dishes are given. Which dish has the lowest density of bacteria or bacteria per square inch? So they give us a table, and it gives us the bacteria and how many square inches for each dish. And we need to figure out how much bacteria per square inch. So that means we need to get the unit rate of the dish, or the square inches, down to 1. And for dish 1, we'll set it up as 100 bacteria over 205 square inches. And use your calculator for this. I care more that you can set this up and know how to solve it without it taking a long time to do it out by hand. So if we divide that, and I just went out 4 places, they didn't specify, and I wasn't sure just off the top of my head how many places to go, so I tried to go up more decimal places than I thought I would need. So I got for dish 1, 0.4878, and then for dish 2, we'll do 50 over 125, and we got 0.4. So when I put that over, a good practice is to go ahead, if you look up by the table, I'm listing them up there, is to have all of your results be the same number of decimal places, so it's real quick to look, and you'll be able to see real quick. And then dish 3, we did 35 over 75, and that gave us 0.4667. And then dish 4, we did 180 over 300, and that gave us 0.6. So the lowest amount of bacteria per square inch was dish number 2. And if we go back over to the multiple choice options, letter B was dish 2. The graph shows the relationship between time and water level of a pool. Find the rate of change. So if we look at the graph, it tells us at the top it's the water level of a pool. And on the y-axis on the left going up, it tells us that's the water level in feet. And then across the bottom on the x-axis, it says That's the time in hours. So if we wanted to graph the points, it would be 0, 3, 2, 4, and 4, 5. So what you should notice is that every time the time goes up by 2 hours, the water level goes up by 1 foot. So the water level goes up 1 foot for every 2 hours. Algebra solving proportions. Number 11, 2/3 equals x over 42. We need cross products, so multiply 2 times 42 and 3 times x. Now we need to get the variable x all by itself, so divide both sides by 3, and we'll simplify where we can. So 3 will go into 84 28 times, 3 will go into 3 one time, and if we neaten that up, we get 28 over 1 equals x. So 28 equals x. Number 12, t over 12 equals 15 over 14. 14t equals 315, cross products. So we did t times 14, 21 times 15. Now we need to get the variable t by itself, so we will divide each side by 14, and we'll simplify the 14s. And the 315 and 14, their greatest common factor is 1. So we'll use a calculator here and divide 315 by 14, and that'll give us t equals 22.5. Number 13, nutrition. If an 8-ounce glass of orange juice has 72 milligrams of vitamin C, how much vitamin C is in a 7-ounce glass? So this is a multi-step problem, and the first thing we need to do is find the unit rate, and we want to know how many milligrams are in each ounce. So we'll put 72 milligrams over 8 fluid ounces, and if we look for the greatest common factor, which is 8, we'll get 9 over 1, because 9 times 8 is 72, and then 8 times 1 is 8. So now we need to take the 9 milligrams per ounce and find out how many are in 7 ounces, how many milligrams in 7 ounces. So we can take that and we'll multiply the numerator and denominator by 7, which will make the numerator 7 ounces, which is what the question asks us. How many milligrams in 7 ounces? And the answer is 63 milligrams of vitamin C and 7 fluid ounces of orange juice. Number 14, the table shows the key for a map. Graph the data, then find the slope of the line. So here's our graph. And notice the x-axis is the distance on a map, and the y-axis is the actual distance. So if it's 1 on the map, it's 20 in actual distance. 2 centimeters on the map is 40 in actual distance. 3 centimeters on the map is 60 kilometers in actual distance, and 4 centimeters on the map is 80 kilometers in actual distance. So the slope is 20 over 1, and every centimeter on the map represents 20 kilometers. Write each fraction as a percent, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Number 17, 5/8. So we're going to use proportions to solve this. So we're going to find cross products. 500 equals 8n. And now we're going to divide out the 8 from each side to get the variable n all by itself. 8 over 8, that's going to reduce to 1. So we'll clean that up. N equals 500 over 8. And now we just use our calculator to divide 500 by 8, and we get 62.5% is approximately n. So there's another way we can do this. 5/8 equals 5 divided by 8, and we get 0.625. Now we have to multiply that by 100 to get the percentage of 62.5%. Number 18, 7/15. So 7/15 equals n over 100. Remember, we're trying to find out what n is, and that is what 7 equals if 15 were to equal 100. We get the denominator to 100. What is the new numerator? So we cross multiply, 700 equals 15n. We need to divide the 15 out to get the variable by itself. And we can simplify the 15. And we get 700 over 15 equals n. And then we'll just use the calculator to get 46.67% is approximately equal to n. So now we'll do it the other way, where we just divide 7 by 15. We get 0.4667. We need to multiply that times 100, and we get 46.67%. Now remember, the quick way you could do with the 100 is after you divide 7 by 15 and get 0.4667, just move the decimal point 2 places to the right, and you'll get your answer. Number 19, gum. A company test marketed 7 new flavors of gum last year. Only 2 of these received favorable ratings, which represents the percent of flavors that did not receive favorable ratings. So here's what we know. We know there's 7 out of 7 new flavors, right? And 2 out of those 7 received favorable ratings. So we're going to take 7 over 7 and subtract 2 over 7, which gives us 5 over 7. That 5 over 7 represents the flavors that did not get favorable ratings. So we have 5 over 7 equals n over 100. Cross multiply to get 500 equals 7n. We have 500 over 7 equals 7n over 7. And that's so we can get the variable n all by itself. And then we'll just neaten that up. And now we'll divide 500 by 7, and we find out n equals 71 and 3/7%. And if we divide 3/7 by 3 by 7, we get 71.43% is approximately n. Okay, number 20, stocks. The company's stock increased 0.83% last month. Write 0.83% as a decimal. So remember, if we want to change a percent to a decimal, we just divide the percent by 100. And this is relatively easy because it's not a fraction. So we have 0.83 over 100, which can also be written as 0.83 divided by 100. And if you do that on your calculator, 0.0083. The other thing you can do is when you divide by 100, you can just move the decimal place or decimal point 2 places to the left. All right. Hope that makes sense. All right, that is the final review of homework for your test on chapter 6, which is tomorrow. A lot of you, I'm not sure if you're watching the videos, but you're not answering the questions in the discussion board, so you're getting zeros for participation. So today's question is, what is your favorite sport? All right, I hope to see your answers so I don't have to give you a 0. All right, study hard. My suggestion is study all of the review videos from the homework for the review section. Your test is going to look very similar to those study guide and reviews and today's the practice test that we just went over today. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.